Hello, and you're watching the History Fella channel. Imagine a nation on the brink, a staple food, the source of life for millions wiped out overnight. Not just for 1 year, but for several. This is the story of the Irish Famine, the Great Hunger. It was a period from 1845 to 1852 that fundamentally reshaped Ireland and sent shockwaves across the globe. By the end, over 1 million people had died, and more than 2 million had emigrated. But this wasn't just a natural disaster. It was a complex catastrophe born from a perfect storm of biological failure, political policy, and deep-seated social inequality. Stay with me as I uncover the true causes of the devastating human cost and the enduring legacy of the Great Hunger. To understand the disaster, we must first understand the potato. By the 1840s, the potato was the primary food source for almost a third of Ireland's 8 million people, especially the rural poor. Why? Because the poor were tenant farmers, forced to grow high-value crops like grain and livestock for export to Britain to pay rent to mostly Anglo-Irish landlords. The potato was the only crop that could provide enough calories and nutrients to sustain a family on a small plot of poor quality land. This reliance, however, created an extreme vulnerability, a monoculture teetering on a knife's edge. In 1845, the knife fell. The immediate cause was microscopic organism, a water mold called Phytophoria infestans, or as we know it, potato blight. It spread rapidly, turning potato crops in the field into a rotting black mess. The initial failure was manageable, but when the blight returned in successive years, 1846, 1847, and beyond, the result was catastrophic. The year 1847, known as Black 47, was the worst. The potato crop, which the poor had banked their entire survival on, simply vanished. But again, there was more than just blight. Throughout the famine years, Ireland was still producing massive amounts of grain, cattle, and other food. This food was being exported to Great Britain because the poor Irish knew without the potato had money to buy it. British government policy, particularly under the Whig government, led by Lord John Russell, was driven by a belief in laissez-faire economics. The idea that the free market should regulate itself. They resisted major intervention, believing it would distort the market, or what the crisis was, a judgment of God on the Irish people. Relief efforts like soup kitchens and public works were often inadequate, poorly managed, or shut down prematurely. Crucially, the Poor Law Extension Act of 1847 included the infamous Gregory Clause, which stated that no person who held more than a quarter acre of land could receive relief. To get help, tenant farmers had to surrender their tiny plot of land to their landlord, often resulting in mass evictions. The human suffering was immense. People died not just from starvation, but from famine-related diseases like typhus, cholera, and dysentery, which spread rapidly in crowded workhouses and relief centres. Families were shattered. The final death toll is estimated at around 1 million people. For those who survived, the only option was often to flee. This led to one of the largest mass migrations of the 19th century. Over 2 million people emigrated, primarily to North America and Great Britain. They travelled on cramped, disease-ridden vessels that became tragically known as coffin ships. Many did not survive the journey. Those who did carried with them the trauma of the famine, forging the foundation of the massive Irish diaspora that exists today, particularly in cities like Boston, New York and Liverpool. They left behind a country forever changed. The Great Hunger permanently altered the trajectory of the Irish history. The population of Ireland fell by nearly 25% and continued to decline for decades. It fueled a deep-seated resentment towards the British rule, contributing directly to the rise of the nationalism and the eventual push for independence. Engorta more, a painful, complex lesson on the dangers of over-reliance on a single food source and the catastrophic impact of political and economic policies that fail to prioritize human life over market ideology. It's a story we must never forget. What aspects of the famine surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you want to learn more about the complex relationship between Ireland and Britain, click on the video on your screen now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's more critical moments. Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I shall see you in the next video.